Hello, hello, Bix Weir, Roota.com. We're going live. Um, I got my little cheat sheet on uh, taking questions, so I'll be going like this all the time. So let me know if you guys can hear me. We'll get going in a couple minutes. Hello, Crypto Nana. What did Cliff High say about silver? Other than $600 silver is on the way. He didn't say that today, but give people a few seconds to get in here. Let me adjust cameras and stuff. Kind of straight. All right, sounding good. Awesome. Couple things I did want to say before we get into questions. Mainly, I want to do questions today, but I hope everybody saw my post this morning about repos because it is becoming more and more apparent what's going on. The derivative mess is breaking apart. And it's not just the banks that use derivatives. Obviously, it's hedge funds. And hedge funds are a hell of a lot more dangerous than the banks. Banks have automatic bailouts from the Fed. Hedge funds, just like long-term capital management, can blow sideways easily because they literally leverage about 10 times what the banks do. So the banks do 10x leverage. The hedge funds do 100x. It is insane. I don't know why it is allowed. Well, I do know why it is allowed. Ultimately, the idea is to destroy the entire system, and you can't do that with just a couple people betting and losing. You got to destroy everything, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Let me get the questions going on down here. So they have allowed the banksters to rehypothecate the world. The world as meaning any asset, you can take it and throw as much derivatives as you want to it. That's what JP Morgan did in the first quarter of 2019. If you look at the BIS information, they went from $48 trillion in derivatives, which is insane to start with. But they went from 48 to 59 trillion. If you are a regulator, like the CFTC, the SEC, the Fed is a regulator as well. If you are a regulator and you have a bank that's called too big to fail, would you allow that bank to add $11 trillion to their derivative book in a matter of 3 months? No. That's insane. But that's what happened, according to their own record. So, where do we go from here? I think we're going down the shithole, so to speak. I do think we're headed. It's not even going to be close to a soft landing, unfortunately. We're headed into a Mad Max world. The question is, what do we do after that? These federal people, whoever they are, have had 110 years to plan on what to do after this current Fed bubble situation, unbacked fiat money. They better have come up with a plan. There was a plan in the late 90s called the NESRA Act, which is the National Economic Stability and Recovery Act. The idea was to rejigger all the fiat money, all the debt. And supposedly Clinton had signed off on that, but it's too late now. I mean, the debt has gone through the roof since the 1990s, and that was the whole idea why Alan Greenspan, Robert Rubin, and who was the other dude? Larry Summers got together and said, we can't regulate derivatives. Now, Rubin and Summers wanted to not regulate derivatives so they can continue to control and rig the markets and give their banksters basically free reign at that. And then Greenspan wanted to do it because he wanted to spread derivatives around the world to destroy the old system. Go back to a gold standard at the time because that was the only other option. And I want everybody to remember that historically when a fiat money system fails, and it has failed many, many times, but historically when those fail, it went back to gold. Why? Because everybody was used to using gold as money, and that was the only other option for sound money. With the creation of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies, a new type of sound money was invented. I'm not saying all the cryptos are sound, they aren't. But definitely Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and others are sound money. So there's an option, and which is really cool because we've never had an option before. Kind of wish we didn't have an option. We had to go back to gold because the U.S. has so much gold, but then you got misallocation of wealth that is used as money, and it would just get ugly. I do believe in what the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston comic book said, that trading will stop between countries when the system falls apart. So I don't think it is coincidence that the Chinese U.S. trading partnership, which is the largest trading partnership in the world, I do not think that is a coincidence that it is on its last legs right now. I think that's part of the plan. So, yeah. All right. That's what I wanted to just get out there, throw it out there. Hey, Super Chat. Thank you very much for the $20. Eduardo, LTC. Loving me some Litecoin at 40, what is it, $45, something ridiculous. Yes, definitely should buy buying Litecoin, and if it goes down, I do what Trace Mayer does. Pretend, hey, don't even pretend. I'm getting Litecoin cheaper. Isn't it that you want to buy an asset cheap and sell it when it's expensive? Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody selling it given the situation with unbacked fiat money at the time. What do you think of backed in the Bitcoin's futures? I think it is a tool of manipulation, and that's all it is. It has always been like that. They implemented the COMEX back in the 1970s to rig the silver market. Everybody was all excited. Oh my God, institutional investors will get their hands on silver. And what has happened? They've rigged the silver market every day since the early 1970s when the COMEX started. And oh, by the way, they trade 300 billion ounces of silver every year. You're going to see billions of Bitcoin trade every year with the introduction of all these derivative exchanges such as futures, options, swaptions, the back system, the CME. They want to bring the criminality into their house, which is within the cryptocurrencies. So, yeah. Charles Hodgkinson versus Crypto Chico. I think Crypto Chico wins hands down on most of the things he talks about. I've heard of him talk about that fight for a long time. I don't trust Charles as far as you can throw him. Chico Crypto's awesome, unbelievable, really smart dude. And you guys should all be listening to his channel, absolutely. All right. Cali for Trump 2020. You and I will be, Trump will get two people voting for him. I think in California, they still rig the ballot boxes and all that. So who knows what's going to go on. I don't think we're going to have an election, truthfully. I don't think I think we'll go back to state control and have the federal government just for what the Constitution had provided for in the beginning, and the 35 million people work directly or indirectly for the governments around the United States, and that's ridiculous. So, yeah, everybody's going Chico. Lions, Bulls, and Bears. Yo, Bix, what do you think of Volcker's passing? I think it's sad. I liked Volcker. He was a rigger. He was a market rigger. He rigged the gold markets back in the 1980s. At the end of the day, he said he didn't in his book, but we all know he did. He actually said he didn't in his biography. But he was a good guy. He was one of the good guys. He's actually represented in the in that movie, the mini series called Tin Man, that I did an analysis of the Wizard of Oz, theory behind it. Volcker was the big, large guy. I forgot what they called him in the movie. But if you go to Road to Roota and look up Tin Man, Volcker is represented there as a good guy, which I think he was behind the scenes. Although he was responsible for kicking the can by raising interest rates at 20% and then rigging the gold market in 1981. So that's my take on him. But yeah, it's sad when anybody passes. But he was deep into his 90s, I think. Keep an eye out for Greenspan next. Although I know Greenspan wants this game to end before he moves on to the next place. That's my take. Veritasium. A lot of people asking about Veri. I don't know. The best stuff you can get on Veritasium is at the Veritasium. What's it called? I always forget the name. Not Twitter, but it's Amy. What's the name of that service you use for the raw food reboot? Come on, what is it? It's not what? Telegram. That's it. For Veritasium, go to the Veritasium Telegram chat room. I know Reggie actually posted a couple things saying, "Hey, he's working on some big things," but they're still monitoring his every. He sneezes, they're gonna say, "Oh, you criminal." So they're really bad people at the SEC. Horrific people, horrific human beings too, if you ask me. That are trying to destroy the free market potential for what Veritasium could do for the world. So it's still a fight, but Reggie is working on deals now, and he's allowed to work on deals. He still has his lawyers and the SEC. Anything he does, the SEC is going to come down on him and say, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And remember, the SEC is a bunch of criminals like you wouldn't believe. Absolutely, the Madoff SEC stuff just proved it. But the SEC was invented to run cover for the manipulation for the bad guys. So the SEC will go away when the bad guys go away, which will be great. Absolutely great. All right. Let's see. Any questions out there? I'm going to look at my little question pad here. Diving Deep says the 12th of December will be the 6666th day since 9/11, and according to the Enoch calendar, it will be the end of the 70th year since the 10th of March 1949 as the founding of the state of Israel. Yeah, that all stuff, trying to predict the day when things are going to happen based on all the clues and stuff, it's almost impossible. Unless you do it in retrospect, you can look back and say, oh, this, like in 2008, it was almost impossible to pick the date. But, oh, by the way, it was on 9/11/2008 that the system broke down. And it was 9/11 that Roota wrote in the sand in the second comic book. So in retrospect, yeah, you could say, oh, my God, it should have been obvious that 9/11/2008 was going to be the day they were going to crash the banks. But nobody did. I called 9/11 this year as a big move, and I think something did happen, except we didn't see it until the Monday after when the repo rates went to 20%, is my take. Okay, oh yeah, click the like button and give me a thumbs up. Clint Westwood, dude, thank you for your video. Clint, you're the man. You're the man. Heartfelt, all my Litecoin family, holy crap. Awesome. You guys are so supportive and wonderful. Thank you for everything you've done. Okay. Jim Shorts says, Bix, do you think any new business ventures should be started, or are we too close to the collapse of the system? Depends what that venture system is. If it can survive a collapse, meaning all the assets of that venture are held within the venture, yeah, I'd say now's the time to start, because we will get out of this after the venture breaks down. So it's never too late to start something. Just make sure that you're protected for when the crash of the system hits, because that could hit any day, truthfully. Lions, Bulls, and Bears, thank you for the $1.99. What do you think of Richard Hart and Hex? I don't trust the dude. He's creepy. So, but yeah, and I always start with the people. I'm not saying he didn't invent something kind of cool. I'm saying I always start with the people when I'm analyzing any investment, and Richard Hart, I don't like him. He's an ass. But he even claims he's an ass. Kind of creepy. So yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one. There's plenty of cryptos out there without that one. Voodoo, Mr. Weir, aka Glix the Machine. Kudos to you, man. Awesome, thank you. The third New York Fed comic book has Glix featured in one of the things teaching people about the monetary system. It's kind of cool. Delilah Amino, Bix, are you and Amy still doing the vegan juicing? Amy has put together a website for a 21-day raw food reboot. There it is right there. Amazing website, amazing information. We start that And we do it as a group, as a gang, and we're starting it right after New Year's. So I think it's the 7th. I think Amy, she's got a little countdown clock on the website. Huge way to get to reboot your system with raw food. There's no cooking. There's no drinking and no smoking pot and no doing anything. No eating, drinking caffeine. All you do is eat the food that God created, raw food. For 21 days, I need it badly. Over the past month, everything in our and to raise our vibration. Thank you, Amy, and many other things. Go to the site and there's a video we did about it. Go check it out. What do I think of Divi? I've talked about Divi many times. I don't think they're bad people. I don't think a cryptocurrency should be pre-mined, and all the Divi is owned by those people who created the Divi, so it is a huge money grab. But I don't think they're bad people. And the inflation rate, I think it was 50 or 100% in the first year. It's just crazy. But there's people who like it, and I'm not gonna, go into it with eyes open. But I don't like the virtue signaling they're doing. Oh, we're doing it for the poor. I don't know these guys though. Ben knows them, and he says they're great. So, I don't own any. I don't plan to own any Divi. It is a cryptocurrency. It has no use case other than a cryptocurrency, but it doesn't live up to all the things you need as a sound cryptocurrency. One, the inflation factor, and they can change the inflation factor in a second, and it can be shut down by the government. So it's like, why? I mean, that's my take. Why? It's kind of fun to do have a node on your phone. That's the only cool thing about it, as far as I can tell. But I'm not going to talk crap about them because I like people who are involved with it. But Ben loves it. But hey, we like different things too. I love Veritasium, and Veritasium is completely centralized. But it's not a cryptocurrency. It's a token that's used for business operation to facilitate peer-to-peer transactions. Whereas Divi is a cryptocurrency looking for a use case. There's a whole bunch of those out there. So that's my take on Divi. All right. You guys, I got like 10,000 questions, so I'm sorry if I don't get to yours. I look at it and something jumps up and I'll talk about it. Do you like Theta even if it's proof of stake? I love Theta. I think Theta is great. The use case for Theta is going to be huge in the broadband streaming. I was running a Theta node, Guardian node. My computer zapped out. And it was an old one. I was just doing it for fun and earned some Theta fuel. But I really think Theta and Theta fuel will do extremely well in the future. And it's really, really cheap right now. Because the use case and the involvement with Samsung with Theta is, and Samsung has made many announcements that they're looking for a sound blockchain. So I think there is a possibility that Samsung will use Theta as part of their operations mode, which would take Theta from I think 8 cents today to $8 tomorrow if something like that was announced. So keep an eye on Theta, absolutely. And yes, I do. It's one of my larger holdings actually. Theta is, as far as tokens. For cryptocurrencies, obviously I love Litecoin. I do like Bitcoin Cash too. I think Bitcoin Cash will be used in Asia a lot, not necessarily in the U.S. because of Roger, but in Asia, absolutely, Bitcoin Cash will be used a hell of a lot more than Bitcoin, I think, and the price the price ratio between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, I think, is very favorable for Bitcoin Cash to do a lot of catch up on Bitcoin. So that's my take on that. All right, moving on. You hate XRP, right? Now, I don't hate XRP. I know it's a banker coin, and the bankers want to use XRP. I think if and when the banks go down, XRP will go to zero because you won't have banks anymore. So I don't hate XRP, but I don't think XRP will survive a banking collapse. How's that? I know they won't. So it'll go to zero when the banks collapse. Because, I mean, that's why it got its value in the first place, is the banks were going to use it. And if the banks are gone, XRP is going to be zero. Voila. And I do think the banks will be gone. Just look at the derivative book of lovely JP Morgan at 50, I think it's 55 trillion right now. They took off 4 trillion in the second quarter. But any day, I think Friday, they're going to post the OCC derivative report. We're going to see what derivative position JP Morgan is at. Keep an eye on Citibank. Deutsche Bank isn't included on that report because it's only U.S. banks. Maybe the U.S. Version of Deutsche Bank. But Deutsche Bank is, a lot of people saying it's already declared bankruptcy. They're just doing it in silence. Could be. But it won't. It doesn't fix anything. So, Mexican Charlie Lee, thoughts on Tezos? I'm not a fan. Again, going back to the people involved in the beginning. But I think it was on one of Cliff High's discussions of something that goes really low and then shoots through the moon. So I don't own any. I don't plan on owning any. But yeah, that's my thought on it. All right, what else we got? Come on, throw me some questions. B trash. Come on. When you start, this is from Thomas Van Krivlin. When you start a discussion about Bitcoin Cash, starting with B trash or B coin or whatever you guys call it, we know your bias. So you're better off not doing that. You don't trust it. Yeah, if you don't trust something, don't invest in it. Again, Bitcoin Cash is trustless though. And look at the miners, how it came about. You can say the same thing about the core devs at Bitcoin also. Do you trust them? It's like saying, do you trust Larry Summers? So, yeah. But hey, it's up to you guys to figure out what you want to invest in. Personally, I love Litecoin. If you're going to look at cryptocurrencies, Litecoin is the right coin. Where have I heard that? All right. Okay. Thoughts on market's reaction to FISA report. Here's my take on market reaction to anything 100% rigged. They could have put I didn't even know if the price went up or down on the Dow, but it doesn't matter. It's run by a computer program. They can make it go the Dow to 100,000 to 1,000,000 if they want. It's a click of a mouse. They can also make it go to zero. And that goes for all of the exchanges and any asset that is traded in the derivative exchanges, and they're all derivative exchanges. So that's my take. Overall, do I think that the IG report is a joke. The guy was put there by Obama. It's the next report. I think it released tomorrow, the Horowitz report. It's going to take down some of the criminals, which is good. Will there be a meltdown before the election? Yeah, most likely. Will there be election at all? I'd say 50-50. 50-50 chance. And it doesn't matter because either side that wins, the other side is going to be pissed off. And we're looking at some kind of a revolt, shall we say, against the government. If we all say, hey, we're not going to pay income taxes anymore, then government shuts down. What can they do? They can't arrest everybody, and because not even the police are going to pay their income taxes. If we get really fed up with government, their system falls apart, and that's what I'm looking for. All right. Let's see where we are. Josh Mitchell says, how would value be determined? We'd have to set up new markets, and I think that's what is in the works. The crypto people foresaw this problem already and are setting up decentralized exchanges, which is cool, which is on blockchain exchanges. Yes, they're slow. The reality is when the system falls apart, when the derivative bubble melts down, no one's going to allow derivative trading ever again, at least for the next 100 years. So places like the New York Stock Exchange, the bond market, the COMEX, the LBMA, the crypto exchanges, none of them. The whole world will be different because those are all derivative exchanges. It'll be slow going to figure out value, which it probably should have been all along. We've gotten used to this world of liquidity. You're going to hear liquidity as a good thing. Liquidity is the most horrific thing ever invented in the financial markets. Why? Because it's fake. Real liquidity is good. If you're trading real Bitcoin and an exchange has a lot of real Bitcoin that are being traded, yeah, absolutely, liquidity is great. If they're trading phantom Bitcoin, ridiculous amounts of Litecoin's a great example. Every day, every single day, within 24 hours, all the Litecoin that's ever been mined trades hands. It is complete bullshit. That's liquidity. Liquidity, phantom liquidity is ridiculous. And when the banks go down, all the exchanges are going to shut down. You won't know the price of your Litecoin, your Bitcoin, your silver, your gold. You won't know the price of anything until they start up again. So, yes, I think after the crash, it will start up again. What goes first, crypto or silver? I would say same time, everything falling apart at the same time. And they're holding it together by a thread right now. So watch for silver by the end of the year. And it depends on what you mean by what goes first. For example, if silver, the price of silver doubles, it's still way under the all time high for silver, which was established in 1980 of $50, and then again in 2011. I mean, silver is, you think about it, it's 33% of its all-time high, whereas gold is 150% of its all-time highs. Prior to the current all-time high. So yeah, I think silver is the most manipulated out there of all of them. So, and you think about a silver tripling would put it around its all-time high, right? Around $50. Well, a Bitcoin tripling will put it at its all-time high, but was 20,000. You triple it, it's at 24 or 20, yeah, 24,000. It's just over its all-time high. So, which one should you get? I don't know. It's a toss-up. Truthfully, if they let silver trade freely, I think it goes right to $600, $700 an ounce. And then you're going to start seeing people trying to sift through garbage dumps for the silver that's been thrown away. And that can only be done with higher priced silver. And then you're going to see Jamie Dimon and Blythe Masters go to jail for their crimes. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on right now. Silver is 1,048 now. You must be, this Uncle Leo, I think it was. You must be looking at that, the debt clock, the U.S. debt clock. Everybody needs to understand that debt clock, where they list all the prices of what things should be, that is not a government site. It looks very official. It is not a government site. It's run by some guy who did a program and said, hey, here's what the prices should be. All right. Let's go back to the list of questions. I'm sorry if I missed your question or your super chat. Here's a super chat from the Tasman63. I just answered that. What goes up, crypto or silver first? I think there was another super chat. Thoughts on Tesla? Okay, yeah, I got those. Okay, good. Greta, the little girl, the girl who the power elite are putting in front of people saying, how dare you cause climate change? Ridiculous. I mean, it's so sad that they use that little girl who's got, she's got Asperger's and she doesn't know any better, but the people behind who are controlling her do, and those people, dude, I can't even think of what they're going to be done to them when their fraud is exposed. Taking little girls with handicaps and making them do that, it's crazy. All right. Do you think it's wise to spread holdings into multiple wallets? Absolutely, making sure, yes, use as many wallets as you can, as you got the time and effort to do. Just make sure they're properly secured and were created properly. All right. Yeah, the Horowitz report is going to be a pretty good one. But then again, they just imagine how much they're leaving out. There were texts between Comey and Brennan and all those guys about assassination of Trump and all this stuff. They're not showing you the good stuff, but they have it all. They have it all. The NSA has they got all 33,000 Clinton emails. They got all the stuff that the New York City Police Department got off Anthony Weiner's laptop. Yeah, that's horrific stuff, too. And I think they've already taken out Hillary Clinton. I don't think that's the real Hillary. And then I'm starting to think that about Pelosi, because she's really losing it these days. If you watch anything Pelosi's done in the last couple of days, it's like, wow, is this even the same person? Is she on drugs? What's going on there? Who knows? But they're very scared, all of them. So hang in there. Wasn't the IOG report the Horowitz report? No, 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 no. The IG report of the Inspector General, they can't even arrest people. Horowitz can bring charges to people, and that was completely separate. And that's the good one that's coming out, I think, tonight. I hear Exodus Wallet is good. A lot of people use it. I don't know. I like to use paper wallets that have been made completely off grid, and the computers have never seen the Wi-Fi, and the printers have never seen the Wi-Fi, and you use a cord to go right into the printer. That's the safest I can do. Besides, running a full node in a secure environment. That's too techy for me, but I can make a paper wallet like it's nobody's business. Gary Wright, I have a son with Asperger's. Yeah, then you must really, know that she's been put in a place that she's been used, and you shouldn't be using people like that. Is my take, and it's just sad to see that she's being used in that way. All right, let's see where we are. Any good links on how to make a paper wallet? See, I have refrained from doing that. There's 100 good links on YouTube. The problem with giving that kind of advice is if you screw up, you're coming to me saying, Bix, you said the wrong thing, and I'm going to sue you for whatever. So I don't really give that advice. But if you go onto YouTube and you say, how do I make a paper Ethereum wallet? How do I make a paper wallet for Ethereum? I use my Ether wallet. But you got to make sure you do it properly. So don't just go there and say, oh, print paper wallet, because then you got to make sure you. What I did is I bought my own. I bought a small laptop and a printer. These have never hit the internet, never enabled any of the electronics. I'm still hoping that the government can't get in there anyway. So I've disabled everything, and then I can make a paper wallet from there. And then I burn when I load the program, I burn the USB port. By the way, we will be giving these away. Amy doesn't know this, so she's saying this right now. These are leftover bracelets from the Vegas trip, and there's, I think, 13 videos, and 9 songs. Original Roota songs. Oh, wait, it's upside down. Here she is. What? We're going to be giving away some extras. I don't know how many yet. So if you want one of these, join or renew the private road at Road to Roota. There it is. I think there's like 50 of them left. So I'm not going to tell anybody right now. I know, I'm always in trouble. Ask Amy how often I get in trouble by saying things that, oh, damn. But yeah, they're bracelets. They glow in the dark. And then they got music videos and songs on them. So they're pretty cool. Bix, what do you think about Redcoin? I know Snippy loves Redcoin. I would say, what's the use case? I don't know that much about it. So, don't know. Amy says never. She never gets mad at me. I'm never in trouble. Really, Amy? Am I never in trouble? Oh, can I remind you of that next time I get in trouble? That'll be the first time. Huh? Crypto Nana, how are you? By the way, Crypto Nana, thank you for that video link. It helped immensely. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Thank you. 2 thumbs up. All right, Bix, do I follow Q? Absolutely. Except we don't know who Q is anymore, unfortunately. I think Q was Trump's secretary. His chief of staff, Kelly. General Kelly was the original Q. When he left office, Q went silent for a while, and then it's not the same now. It might be someone within the government. I don't think it's General Kelly anymore. So I don't know what's going on with Q. The original Q, absolutely. I think it was General Kelly. But I don't know. I think there's a few different entities running the Q program now. So unfortunately, I think they might be trying to steer us in certain ways, which is always scary. All right, Josh Mitchell, do you see Litecoin being used for agricultural payments during the grand solar minimum, and have they developed the smart contract upgrade yet? I think Litecoin will be used for anything and everything. It's one of the only cryptocurrency chains, blockchains that's been running continuously without ever screwing up. I think Bitcoin had a screw up in the beginning, but Litecoin never has. And there's plenty of things that Litecoin to do. Right now, they're working on Mimblewimble, which will make anonymous transactions, which would be huge if we're going to use it as money. And I do think we're going to use it as money as these banks go down. So that's my take on Litecoin, and it hasn't changed since I've been investing in it. And yes, if I get an extra penny these days, I buy a little bit of Litecoin at any price, up, down, or sideways. I bought a little more in the $25 range, but yes, Litecoin will go up, down, and sideways as long as these criminal exchanges are in place. Where, like Litecoin, look at the volume. I'll tell you right now what the volume is on Litecoin in the past. What is it? Past 24 hours, Litecoin has traded $2.5 billion worth of Litecoin has traded hands. Total market cap since the day it was invented by Charlie Lee is 2.8 billion. So basically, it's being rehypothecated every day to rig the price of Litecoin. Hang on to your Litecoin like you hang on to your silver, because one day these exchanges will go away. And then a few months after that, when something starts up as a new exchange, decentralized exchange, then you're going to see the price of it go to fair market value, which is I think it's going to be 4-1 with Bitcoin. Litecoin to Bitcoin 4-1, which would put Litecoin today at what, $2,000 or so, and Litecoin's trading at like $44. So yes, absolutely Litecoin. Litecoin is the right coin, and it rhymes, and it's the greatest song ever written in cryptocurrencies. If I do say so myself. Oh, we are. I've been talking to Bitcoin Ben and the Wild West Crypto Show guys about the Texas event. It's going to be a hoot and a blast. And I will be throwing a concert the night before to raise money for charities. And so if you plan on going, it's on a Saturday. The concert, I'm going to do a concert that day too. But the concert / my Broadway show will be on the Friday night to raise money for a specific charity. Clint Westwood will be there signing autographs for everybody. That's a reason to go no matter what. Chris Card's going to be there. Sweet. Amy Weir's going to be there. Let's get Amy to bring her ukulele. We were working on a song together that we can finish by then. If you haven't heard Amy on the ukulele and singing songs, she rocks. Absolutely. Michael Yu, BTC versus LTC versus DGB. LTC's the winner on that one. I like them all, but LTC wins hands down, especially because of its low valuation now to Bitcoin. All right. Where in Texas? Bitcoin Ben is working on a website with, I forgot the name of the town and the exact date. It's like Josh Lake in the house. What's up? Yes, Josh is a family member. Kinda. And Josh did Amy's set up Amy's website for her, and it looks really good. Thank you, Josh, for that. Near Kernville, Texas, is what Crypto Nana says. Yeah, and that's going to be a good one. I actually have bought a Wrangler cowboy shirt for that show, and cowboy boots, right, Amy? She won't let me wear it out. I keep trying to wear it out when we go out for dinner. She won't let me wear it. Absolutely not. She's like, no, you're not going to wear that cowboy style shirt. I think it looks cool. I want to be a cowboy. But I am absolutely going to wear it in Texas for the event. And you should wear your Wrangler jeans. Chris, bring your Wrangler jeans. Absolutely. It's cowboy time. We're all going to cowboy up in Texas. And hopefully by then, all the bullshit will be over with the crypto manipulation, and we'll get some free trading. Chris Giancarlo will be in jail by then, which him and Mnuchin and Trump and Gary Cohen, who rigged the price of Bitcoin from $20,000 down. Bastards. Paul. Thank you, Paul. $20 super chat. Paul Farms. Thank you, bud. All right, let's look at questions. Where are we? Tron says they release 1 billion coins from storage. Tron is a fraud because, again, start with the people. That guy, the guy, the inventor, and the guy who runs it is a joke, an absolute joke. You gotta start with the people, and then you can work your way from there. Glenn Hurd, when are you moving to Alabama on the Gulf of Mexico? Probably not going to move to Alabama. We are looking to move at some point next year, probably close to family. So maybe Northern California, maybe not. Definitely out of Oakland, Berkeley area. If we stay in California, it'd be up north towards the water, towards the ocean, for that kind of karma. Is it karma? Something about Cliff was talking about living near the ocean. You get the negative ions or positive ions. I think the negative ions, when you live close to the ocean, it makes you feel better. That's a good place to be. Interstellar OG. Hey, Bix, do you buy Litecoin in US dollars or do you buy Bitcoin and then swap it for others? Mostly Litecoin in US dollars. I'm lazy these days. I'll just go on my Coinbase account and buy it every once in a while. So, yeah. You're better off earning Litecoin. So, if you can earn Litecoin, that's the best way to go about it. Ramblin' Rose 25. I'm sorry if I missed an announcement. Did you make the $10,000 goal? Yes, we did. So we did a fundraiser. Bitcoin Ben, amazing guy. He did a fundraiser on Saturday, and we've raised over $10,000 for Toby's studio, New Style Motherload. Awesome guy, Corey Action, and a group of underprivileged kids doing their hip hop, just loving life. And we got them over $10,000 to keep that program going, which is amazing. Thank you, people, so much, so very much. And if you did contribute over $100, I will send you out a Road to Roota coin. So get in touch with Ben or myself and to show us where you did that, and then we will send you out your coin. Gonna need your address. All right. And thank you all again for any contributions or just the well wishes. Was plenty. The well wishes I got. I can't even tell you. I would love to get back on all these emails. There's like thousands of emails of well wishes. So thank you all so much for that. Let's see. Ty S. China is going to come out with a gold-backed currency. Cryptocurrency. No, they're not. It was Max Kaiser said that, and China does. Why would they? I mean, if it wasn't redeemable, it would be, who cares, right? Cryptocurrencies don't need any backing. They actually are hurt by backing, if anything, because it adds centralization. If China came out with any kind of cryptocurrency, it wouldn't be gold-backed. There's no need to back anything. And if it was redeemable, everybody would just redeem it, and you get the gold. So yeah, that's only old gold bugs would say that a cryptocurrency needs to be backed by gold. Now, gold does need cryptocurrencies to help it be useful in the future. But yeah, there's no reason to back a cryptocurrency with gold, in my opinion. And the reason is very simple, because it adds centralization, it adds third-party risk, it adds all the bad things about cryptocurrencies. It would just bring it all back. So no, I don't see any way, shape, and form China doing a gold-backed cryptocurrency. They don't need it. Gold is your deposit. The crypto is your payment use. Yeah, gold can benefit from cryptocurrencies. Absolutely. But cryptocurrencies can't benefit from gold. Yeah. Mr. Ulfang, 100% backed by tungsten. Exactly. You don't know. It's faith and trust. It's kind of like the U.S. dollar being, the gold being in Fort Knox. Nobody knows. I've talked about it on the X22 report. If you guys haven't seen that, I was just on with Dave at X22, And he was talking about the gold in Fort Knox. And I'm like, well, it's probably been rehypothecated 50 times if it is there. But it's such a tiny amount of gold, it's not going to matter. It's only 8,000 tons of gold. There's millions of tons of gold in the world, my friends. And 8,000 tons is ridiculous. Now, China's supposedly got over 20. Some people are saying over 20. I'm also hearing over 200,000 tons of gold that they've had for a long time. There was a secret gold agreement behind the scenes. It's been in place since the creation of the Federal Reserve. If you don't think that is true, go to roadtoroota.com. I've done many reports on it. There's a lot of research there. But most people, at least in the central banking world, know exactly what's going on. So we can guess all we want, but hey, gold won't be used as money. It just won't. It'll be used as a store of value for old gold bugs. Truthfully, there's not many left. Not many left. Not many old gold bugs left. So, Crypto Nana, what happens to credit card debt and mortgages? They go away with the banks, which is, that's the good side of a banking crash, is all debt will be wiped clean. Problem is, one person's debt is another person's asset, and all assets will wipe clean too. So we're going to start fresh. Some people call it a debt jubilee, but that would take a decision, really. This is more of a non-decision crashing of the banks, which basically takes all the banks out. One of these too big, they call them too big to fail banks for a reason, and that reason is if they fail, the entire system falls apart. We almost saw it in 2008, and that was just, the big problem there was the credit default swaps and the mortgage-backed securities. Now we have a bond problem, a huge mega bond problem, 100 times as big as the 2008 problem. And the moment it starts to crumble is the moment all the computers fight each other and they all freeze up and they shut down the exchanges. And then Mad Max arrives at your front door. Hopefully we can get over it quickly in a matter of a few months. But there's going to be a lot of people going to be dragged off to jail during that time. XRP is already part of that transition. No. Well, it is, but the XRP people don't realize, and Ripple people don't realize, that their banks won't be used in the future. So there's no reason to have XRP at all. If you think the banks are going to stay afloat and that XRP is going to somehow save them from, let them get away with their criminality, then yeah, by all means, invest in XRP because you can win with the criminals. But no, that was not the plan, at least as far as the Road to Roota stuff talks about out of the Fed Boston. The plan is to destroy the system, not to fix it. Hey, Ty S., thank you for the 1999. Very nice. I already talked about Very. No, Very is not dead. Yeah, Very is at a great price right now. Reggie will find places for it, and the SEC probably won't be around past the middle of next year anyway, which would be a great thing. Those criminals need to go to jail. So in a world without regulators, which is a beautiful world, by the way, a lot of people won't invest because there's no regulators. But then you think about it, it's like these regulators are just running cover for the criminality within the system. So yeah, everybody shouldn't invest. The liquidity issue is a manipulation issue in how they steal your money. So yeah, in that type of world, Veritasium thrives because it's peer-to-peer transactions. We will see. Yeah, give me a like and a thumbs up. And subscribe. That's right, subscribe. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already signed up for the emails at Road to Roota, I don't know if my YouTube channel is going to be around. I think it starts tomorrow that YouTube starts cutting back on channels. They're going to dump a lot of people. A lot of my friends are expecting to be cut off. People like Sean at SGT Report. I hope they don't get cut off because that will be pretty, it's funny. The 10th is the day that they're planning to do it. And YouTube was created by one of the largest pedophiles on planet Earth, a guy named Mark Collins Rector in the 1990s. So it is 100% deep state. Sorry, but it is. I have the patent if you want to see it. And so they're the bad guys. And just happens to be the Horowitz report comes out on the 10th also, It's going to be a fight between Trump and the good guys and the Googles of the world and the Amazons. It's going to get really ugly. Now is the time to get your assets in your own possession because this is not going to be good. Absolutely. So, yeah, good luck out there. Let's see where we are. Wow, a whole bunch of questions. Randall McMurray, Bitcoin's going to be good in 2020. Bitcoin is good now. It's good today. It's cheap now. So would you rather buy it when it's cheap or when it's expensive? Custody is a major problem. Not everyone lives remotely and has guns. Yeah, true. Jean-Claude in the house. What up, Jean-Claude? Nice to see you. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Some kind of drama. But Jean-Claude is the man. Hey, when are we going out on with our shovels again? Give me a call. I know they're making progress in the hunt for April. Oh, don't make it the beginning of April. Make middle or end, I think. Right, Amy? April is that's the Bitcoin bin meetup. I think it's right at the beginning, like the 4th or 5th. So, yeah. Uncle Leo, Evolve Beyond Money. Absolutely. And I do think if you've read my books, we won't need money in the future, probably 50 years from now, when we invent replicators that can, just you put in, can make your house, your food, whatever. From the energy, create molecules. From molecules, create the turkey sandwich. It's just a matter of putting the molecules in the right spot at the right time and bonding them and all that. All that's possible, just like on Star Trek, the replicator. But with the invention of replicators, probably 50 to 100 years from now, you don't need money. You don't really necessarily need money. If you have all your basic needs met, what do you need money for? So yeah, I don't think money will be around. I would say closer to 100 years before the technology gets that far away. But look at 3D printers. You can 3D print a house these days. I saw that on YouTube. They 3D printed a house. So yeah, this stuff moves fast. But creating a turkey sandwich from energy, that's going to take a little jump. But it can be done. All molecules are made from energy. If you can take the energy and make molecules and then put the molecules together in a certain way, voila, you've got a replicator. And then, with a little perfecting over 10, 20, 30 years, you got yourself something that you don't need money anymore. You can replicate yourself as many turkey sandwiches as you want. It's the turkey sandwich theory. All right. W. Roberts, 100 years, huh? Well, that seals my fate. I was thinking transition into crypto would happen in my lifetime. No, this is 100 years until we don't need money. So you don't need cryptos in 100 years. We do need them now. It's like 100 minutes we're going to need cryptos more than we ever needed them. So I hope I was clear on that. In 100 years, we're probably not going to need money because we'll have replicators. Does that make sense? I hope. Yes, makes sense. Gotcha. Bone Man 538, asset inflation is coming. Asset inflation only happens if they let go of the rigging of the commodity markets. And, well, we already have asset inflation. Look at the stock market. Where do you think all this money is going right now? It's going to the stock market. When that starts falling, it'll go into gold and cryptos. And obviously, silver will be too expensive to buy. Too expensive to buy. Silver will be too expensive to buy. I do think at some point in the chaos of trying to value a freely traded ounce of silver, that an ounce of silver will be more valuable than an ounce of gold. And right now it's like 88 to 1, which is ridiculous. Yes, they will be able to replicate silver in 50 to 100 years. Absolutely. But that's 50 to 100 years. In the meantime, we need cell phones, flat screen TVs, all that stuff. So yeah, I heard they could do silver molecules, but it costs them like $1 million to do right now to make a silver molecule but it isn't from energy to make the silver molecules. It's from transforming some other molecules or something to that effect. But the question is, how long are we going to be subject to the criminality of the COMEX and the LBMA when it comes to silver? And given that the DOJ now has 6 JP Morgan traders they're ringing up on RICO charges, I don't think it'll be very long at all. So keep an eye on, if you want to know when they're going to let the system go and markets become truly freely traded, keep an eye on what goes on with Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, that they call Bank A. They can't even call it the name of the bank, even though every single one of the traders being brought up on RICO charges works for JP Morgan. So it's kind of crazy right now, but they also know they take down JP Morgan, they're going to take down a lot, the whole system. It's a too big to fail bank. So it's a delicate dance that they're doing right now. Okay, Chris Gunn, any news on Theta? I did talk about Theta earlier. No new news that I've seen lately. Massively undervalued. I think Theta will do extremely well in the future. It's a gift right now. I think it's at 8 cents. Let me look that one up. I can't look it up. I think it's around 8 cents. But here, and Theta Fuel too. $8 or 8.5 cents. Really? That's Theta. Go get yourself some Theta. Wow. Wait. Let me pause this live stream to go buy some Theta. Yeah, 8.5 cents. That's a bargain. Michelle Whitedove has that one going over $1,000. From 8 cents to $1,000. That would be a home run. That would be a life changer. So, who knows? You know, a lot of these psychics and mediums and all that, we don't know the future. The future is yet to be written. They can get hints as to where we're headed, but the future can always change, as we've seen many times. So, yeah, I think Cliff High talked about it quite well when he was describing what happened to cryptocurrencies in his data. And yeah, Cliff's the man, by the way. He's dealing in some weird things these days. Not cryptos. He's not talking cryptos at all because he's got too many people just crapping on him about cryptos and regulators who want him to testify against other people. And there won't be a new Alta report for a while, I don't think. One, he's got to change all the programs, but two, he's not going to talk about cryptos until the criminal regulators stop threatening to throw him in jail. So, yeah, that's what we get to fight with. Cliff's on the edge of that fight. And he's like, I don't even want to fight him. Stuff doesn't interest me anymore. I'm moving on. He's working on inventing a flying RV. I'm excited about that. Let's see. All right, anybody have a question? Nothing's really jumping up. I've missed so many, though. Don't eat Monsanto. Well, if there was a person, Monsanto, that we can get rid of that evil corporation, yeah, I'd eat Monsanto. But yeah, good guy, bad guy fight. Absolutely. When the good guys win, and they will win, a lot of things need to change. One is the food we eat. We are being killed off slowly but surely. The chemtrails, all that stuff needs to just end, and the truth be told to the people, because we can't move forward without moving forward based on truth. That's why I'm so pissed off about all these investigations. They barely even scratch on the truth. They know the truth. They have all the communications from humanity. You know, the NSA has recorded everything. And they have the 33,000 emails of Clinton. They got everything that Obama did and the Bushes did. They got everything. So why leave it out? Oh, because the system has to go on. We need social cohesion. Give me a break. We're done with social cohesion. Thoughts on Giancarlo's new job? You know, I don't know about Giancarlo. I could tell you what he's been saying is He's trying to be the crypto guy from the old school. He's bringing old school and new school. No, we don't want Giancarlo. We don't want the old school to be around, and we don't want you to be around. You said it yourself. You rigged the price of cryptos down when Bitcoin was up too high. The CFTC has no power to rig the price of anything down. And they shouldn't, they're supposed to be a regulator, not go to the market and say, oh, this is too high to be a fair market value. That is ridiculous. But that's what's been done with the Exchange Stabilization Fund. He along with the president and the Treasury Secretary and the head of the Fed, have the ability to rig any market. So it's illegal under the U.S. laws. Well, then again, are we the USA corporation? We can go down that road. But no, we're not going to go down that road because, hey, I don't mind if you rig the prices of commodities. I do mind if you don't tell us you're about to rig it. You're a regulator working for the people. Come out and say, hey, this is our job. Our job is to make sure that the old system stays in place, and we're going to be rigging this market, and this market, just to give you a heads up. That way people will remove themselves from the market and not get fooled by you bastards. All right. Wow, a whole bunch of new questions. Here we go. YouTube apocalypse coming tomorrow. Yeah, this station might not even be around. Again, go to roadrooter.com, put your name in the email, and you're going to get a free book with it too, a PDF book. One of my Conversations with God book. I don't know which one. I think it's the first one. December 10th, YouTube apocalypse. Yeah, I don't know how. Nobody knows what they're going to do. They can do anything they want. You know, they say they're a private corporation, but they really aren't. They were funded with our taxpayer money in the beginning. All right. Silver to $500 by the beginning of next year. Okay. I don't think. See, here's the deal. Silver will never go to $500 if the comics and the LBMA are still in business. Why? Because every $1 that silver goes up, the top 8 banks lose $1 billion. So silver to $500 would be $500 billion. The banks wouldn't even be around. The whole system would have crashed. That's the problem. So no, we're not going to see on the comics and the LBMA. We're not going to see silver going over $50. Actually, I should say over $100. You probably will never see that on the comics of the LBMA because it would take out the whole system. They would rather freeze those markets, which I think they're going to do with computers and derivatives. Whatever happened to Steve Mnuchin's response to Elizabeth Warren? You know, I don't know. I haven't looked at that. You know, things got a little chaotic there for us. But that's a great question. Does anybody know what happened to Mnuchin answering Elizabeth Warren? Then again, she asked, you know, where did this repo problem come from? And I did address that this morning in this morning's Horn of Z's. So if you're interested in what it is, we know now. We know what's going on behind the scenes, and I talk about it. I do think we're going to hit $1 trillion by the end of the year. That the Fed is doing in overnight bailouts. We're at 350 right now, which would mean they really got to ramp it up because we have end of year. Not only do the banks have to square their books by the end of the year, but all the hedge funds do, and that's where the big problems lie right now. Is the hedge funds are going to start selling their assets, and they're leveraged hugely, 100 to 1. So that's the problem in the repo market. Elizabeth Warren, you know, doesn't matter. Apparently, Elizabeth Warren took like $2 million in fees over the last 17 years from the banksters, and all the lefties who don't like Elizabeth Warren are coming out and saying, "You're a banker." It's like, really? Come on, give me a break. Over 17 years, you got $2 million, and you were a Harvard professor. That's where they get their money. So yeah, I don't know. If she gets in, see, that's no one. We can't have another president unless a lot of truth comes out between now and the election. And that's fine if we don't have another president. Who cares? Actually, it would probably be better off. But we got to get rid of Congress as well. And I think Trump would do that. And it's not hard to get rid of Congress. Just show how criminal they are. And they got all the information on them. So we will see. Umpire's Post. When do you think digital fiat creation madness will reduce or come to a halt, at least temporarily? Never. That was not the plan. It never was the plan. The plan was always to print as much money as possible. That's what Roota wrote in the sand in that comic book. It's an economic formula called On the Road to the Golden Age. And the best way to go back to a gold standard, at the time they wanted to go back to a gold standard in the 60s, was to print the money as much as possible, soaking up all the benefits, create roads, bridges, your military, everything, until the system falls apart. The plan was never, ever, 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 ever to pay off the debt, to balance the budgets. They don't even talk about it anymore. Remember they used to always talk about that? They don't talk about it. Walter Douglas, what's the Divvy project? I talked about Divvy earlier. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of the people who are participating in it. I'm not a fan of how it was created. I think it's a huge money grab by the inventors. And I don't like virtue signaling. So when I heard that, it really gives me a sour taste in my mouth that they say they're doing it for the poor. If you're doing it for the poor, give all your divvy to the poor now. Why wait? No, I'm not going to talk shit about divvy because I have some good friends who are in divvy. No problem, Walter. You can rewind this, baby. We've been going for over an hour. I love you guys, too. Sorry if I didn't get to your question. I will try to get to it next live chat. We'll do another one this week. I do want to say that I will be posting a timeline, my current timeline post, probably on Thursday or Friday of this week for private road members, kind of where I think we are as far as when the real chaos is going to hit and when the maybe even the system even fall apart. How far are we off from there? And like always, this is not a bull pony. It's going to happen on the 9th of December, blah, blah, blah. This is just people want to know my take on it, and I'm going to tell you my take. I've been pretty right so far. But, we'll see. So far as in, like, when I started doing it again. I did it a while back. Oh, it's going to be, this day, and it never happened. I gave up for years. I didn't give any predictions on when. And then the beginning of mid this year, I said, hey, watch for September 11th of 2019. That's when the repo craziness kicked in. So we got some more dates coming up, and I'm going to take the repo chart that I post every day on, and I tally them all up. I'm going to do some projections for you guys. And I think when we hit 700 million in repos, it's going to be a big moment because that was the first bailout in 2008. But then when we hit 1 trillion, people will start saying, what the hell are we doing? That's my take. Anyway, love you guys. You take care, and I will talk to you guys later.